full-size Breezy double knockout roses, and they are jam-packed, more petals than we've ever done on our regular knockout roses. These are a special breed. They smell amazing. The foliage is beautiful. You're gonna get two. You're gonna get one in the pink, and you're gonna get one in the red. Non-stop blossoms all season long. And what the key to these is, the real key to these is what you're gonna be getting in the mail. What you're gonna get in the mail is the most incredible healthy rootstock you've ever seen. So I want you to understand why we do this for you. If we were just to give you little tiny plants in little tiny containers, first of all, they go through 3 different phases. They go through that sleep phase where they're just trying to develop the roots, then they go into the creep phase where they start to grow, and then they finally go into the leaf stage, but that can be years down the road. You're gonna get roses off these in your very first season. Get them home, put them in a plant, whatever you want to do. If you want to put them in a big bucket like we have here, if you want to plant them in the ground, you will get roses in your first year and they will smell amazing. You're going to get not only the pink, but you're also going to get the red, bursting with pink and red flowers. Very little maintenance on these. You don't have to top them. You don't have to trim them, do anything like that. Just water them if you want. And I suggest you get some of our leaf and petal plant food. I'm down to 200 left of these. Drop one of the tablets in a gallon of water. You don't have to measure anything. Stir it up, pour it in. You do that like once every couple, 3 weeks, and you'll get the food that they need. But they are amazing. Look how beautiful these are. These could be on your front porch. These could be on your patio. This could be lining your driveway. You could put these out by your mailbox. Our price today is $29.95. We will ship them to you free. They're going out immediately because growing season is now here for everybody in the country. 722-374 is the item number. Don't wait on this. In fact, I'll show you the pictures. I'm gonna show you the pictures of my mini ones. Mine aren't even this big. My mini ones, which I love, they're a version of this, but they have the smaller flowers and they don't have any scent. These still have a beautiful, glorious rose scent. True rosarians out there, and I learned that term today, absolutely adore these. There's mine. Now those right there, those are the compact mini ones. Look at the size of the flowers here. This is what I needed to get, although I love mine. And those right there are year 2, and that's only one. I have 2 of those. I'm telling you, people come over, they're like, oh my gosh, look how beautiful those are. They are gorgeous, and so are these. For less than $30 you're home, get some flowers, will you? Or get something in the show today. Let me introduce you to our special guest joining us all the way from Boston. She's amazing. She knows a lot about plants and flowers, and she's our special guest, Rochelle Grayer. Hi, Rochelle.
Hey there, how are you?
I'm wonderful. What do you think of this today's special, Rochelle? Isn't it awesome?
Oh, I love these. I have grown knockout roses in my own garden for years. I think I planted my first one about 10 years ago, and they're still out there. They still are performing, and I have got to tell you, in 10 years, I have maybe cut, I don't know, in 10 years, a half a dozen dead canes out of it, and that is the sum total of the maintenance I have done on my roses. And they start to bloom. I estimate they'll probably start blooming here in about 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks, and then they're going to continue. They're one of the last things to bloom. They're still blooming when it frosts here in November. It's awesome. They are just stalwarts of my garden. I count on them. Color all through the summer. Mine are red, and mine are the singles. They're still beautiful. These are the doubles, though. I actually wish I kind of had these ones because they have twice as many petals. They're just that much fuller rose bloom. Mine have that little more wild look. So I love these like more formal, beautiful, full roses that you get with these double knockouts. But I just, the thing that is so great about the knockouts, though, is that they really revolutionized the rose world when they came out just about 20 years ago, actually. I think it's 20 years ago this year. And the reason for that is because these are not the roses that our mothers and grandmothers grew. I know when I was first a baby gardener, I bought my first home in my 20s and was trying out gardening. I'd grown up with a family that gardens, but I remember my mom would say, I don't know, sweetie, I'm not sure if you're ready for roses, because they were hard and they had all kinds of problems. You really had to baby them. Knockout roses don't have any of that. They're disease resistant. They're very hardy. They bloom nonstop. They are pest resistant. You don't have to deadhead them. Plus, they have this great shrubby habit, so you don't really have to worry about their shape and having them look all fangly or anything. They have great foliage, and they just are blooming machines nonstop.
how gorgeous these are. And I love that we're giving you 2 different colors, Rochelle, that you're getting them in red and pink. Most people can't make up their mind what they're gonna get. You're gonna get both of these. And as I said, you will see roses this season. And they will bloom from summer all the way out through early frost, so you're gonna get them. These come with your 1-year warranty. We have 90 days that you can return them if you want, but you're not gonna wanna return them. You're gonna love them. You can put these on a patio. They're okay in containers. Mine are all in containers. I have a full container garden on my deck, and I love having roses. I've got roses, I've got herbs out there, I have tomatoes. I mean, it's really, you know what's funny is I didn't have as many plants last year, but after going through all this stuff that we're going through, I have such an appreciation for growing stuff now. It's given me a great extra hobby that I really has kind of blown up right now for me. I mean, you see my son Danny's like, I'm out there making him count tomatoes every day. How many today? How many? And he's like, Dad, there's like 12 tomatoes on this bush. I love it. Get yourself some roses. Don't forget about Leaf and Petals plant food. We have that available. Kyle, keep me posted on the plant food. I know we only had a couple hundred to go around. 144 left. You know what I love about that plant food? You take it, you put it in a gallon of water, you mix it up, you pour it on the plants. I can't read the back of those fertilizer things from the store where it says like it's in milliliters, but just put it in a bucket and pour it in, and it'll feed those plants perfectly. Now, you don't have to spray these. You don't have to worry about insects. You don't have to worry about topping the little heads off. They will take care of themselves. If you wanted to, you could trim some of the flowers off and you could bring them inside. But honestly, the scent, and we should talk, Rochelle, about how many blossoms you get when this starts to go. Because remember, this is gonna get better every single year, year after year. First year, you will get flowers. Second year, it's gonna be even more full. Third year, it's gonna be crazy. You're gonna be cutting them every day and bringing them inside. But get yourself something pretty to put in your house. I know times are tough, right? We're kind of, at this point, everybody is kind of over the initial stuff and they're just going crazy, right? You want things to reopen. These will open for you every single day and you can enjoy them in your own home. 7222374. The price is $10 off. It's $9.98 on your credit card. We'll ship it right out to you. There's no delay. Remember early in the season, we were waiting. The reason we wait is because we wanted to make sure it was okay where you live to send them, because people way up north, they get theirs later. Everybody is getting them right now. And remember, you're gonna get this incredibly established rootstock. I want you to look at how thick the limbs are on there. This is a developed tree. This is not a little baby sapling. Look at the root structure on that, okay? And look, this has been building nutrients and everything for years. And then it's shipped to you. You can see all the little rose things are starting to grow on the bottom, and it hasn't even gone in the ground yet. We're gonna give you 2 of those. It makes good sense, especially with roses, which produce a lot of flowers, especially in this case. You need something that's really healthy. It's not in its sleep stage, it's not in its creep stage, it's in its leap stage, which means it's ready to go when you pop it in the ground. And once they get established, which takes just a little bit, you're gonna see flowers. Probably in like maybe 4 to 5 weeks, you'll start seeing flowers. And then in years 2 or 3, this is how they start to look. So if you are using them for landscape, there's nothing better. If you're trying to dress up your property, what better way to do it with roses? And then you can also clip them and bring them inside. I said, Rochelle, very easy to maintain, right?
Yeah, they really are. They create this natural mounding habit, and they're going to ultimately get about 3 to 4 feet tall. But going back to your original point about how substantial these canes are, what I want to tell you though is this is really different than buying a potted plant. If you can buy roses bare root, that is really, excuse me, what professional landscape designers, rosarians, nurseries, people who are installing big gardens that need to kind of establish quickly, they will always go for bare rootstock when it comes to roses over a potted plant. And here's the reason why. First of all, so this, as we said, the sleep, creep, leap stage. You hear that with gardens all the time. First year they sleep, then they creep, and then they leap in the 3rd year. But with bare root roses, these are 2-year-old roses already, and they have never been grown in a container. So they've been growing in a field. They were harvested from the field. So they have nothing going on down here that is involved with a container. So container soil, often it can wick away moisture. It contributes to shock because it's so different. The plant is used to being a container. You put it in the garden. It has to go through that adjustment phase. When you field harvest something and you've got this root structure that's already going in the right direction and it is used to growing in a field, it's more like transplanting a plant from one part of your garden to another. It goes through much less shock, it establishes much more quickly, and you start getting those blooms right away. So this is, you know, when it comes to something like an established rose, this is the way to really jumpstart a garden and get something bigger and better right away. Because this year, these will get you probably about a 24-inch by 24-inch shrub. That is a whole different thing. If you think about buying a 24 by 24 inch shrub in container form, you're going to first of all spend many times as much money, and it will also, you know, struggle a bit more when it goes into the ground, whereas this is going to establish much more quickly, and you're going to get those blooms this year. And then of course it will get bigger and better in subsequent years. But I mean, the jump start that you're getting with the rootstock is just hard to overstate, because this really is the way professionals establish roses and do roses.
I'm so glad you explained that as well, because it really is important that you get healthy plants. And as we said before, if you're going to get a little dinky thing, you know, in a cup, you're going to be waiting 3 or 4 years for that to actually establish, versus what we're giving you. You've got a plant that's been growing in the ground for a couple of years already, and you're going to get flowers like this, and I'm telling you, they are unbelievable. Look at how beautiful those are. And you can see how compact, this is what we said, that's why they call them double the petals of a regular rose, so they're really, really dense. They give off an amazing, amazing scent. You can get these today only if you want to cut them like this, you know, give them to mom or give them to your sweetie. You can do that. Because you have so many, you're not going to lose them or be like, oh no, I took them off the tree. They're going to be very, very full, and they're going to be gorgeous. Very easy to grow. As we said, if you want to buy a little plant food, it's a good idea, because we don't always know how the soil is going to be where you are. This is the leaf and petal plant food that we have available. It is the perfect blend for almost any of your plants or flowers. All you do is drop one of the little tablets in a gallon of water. Easy. Let it dissolve and pour it on. That's all you do. And you only have to do that once in a while. But think about having these in your yard. Think about you know, especially those of you where your kids are a little bit grown up, these become like your family. These become like your kids. You go out there, you take care of them, but they're a lot easier to take care of than kids, as most of you know. In fact, I was having a discussion with Jeremy this morning about his kids and potty training, and you don't have to worry about that when it comes to your roses. They will take care of themselves for the most part. Just water them once in a while. I love the different shots of these and how beautiful they are. I want to show you, hey Kyle, pull up mine again one more time, because I want to explain the difference, if you have that little picture of mine, between the double and the full-size roses. I have the little miniature knockout roses. I got those 2 years ago, and I look at them. You can see I love them. They're very deep in color, but they're small, and they don't have pretty much any scent. They're just decorative. These have both, and they are about 5 or 6 or 7 times the size of my roses here, and I adore these, right? But what you'll get is you're gonna get a show. Every time you go out there, you're gonna see one coming. You don't have to worry about spraying them. I didn't have to worry about spraying these either. One of the biggest deals, because most roses out there, if you don't know where they came from, they get aphids. You're constantly out there babysitting them, killing bugs. You don't have to deal with that. You don't have to top them off. You don't have to deadhead them, you know, pull off the dead ones. They will naturally fall off on their own. So you don't have to deal with that either. But look at the presentation. I mean, it's roses, right? Everybody loves roses. Roses are like the thing you start out with, right? And they are so beautiful, and they produce year after year after year. And without having any maintenance, that's why we are so busy. We went over 8,000 sets of these a few moments ago. There you go, 8,248. I am telling you, it's a no-brainer. Now, if you decide in 90 days you don't want them, send them back. We're giving you an extra 2 months on our extended deliveries because of everything we're going through. But remember, the Leaf and Petal, these come with a 1-year warranty from Leaf and Petal as well. Any issues, they'll replace them for you. You don't know that. You're gonna go to a garden store and 9 months later walk in, hey, my roses didn't grow. They're gonna laugh at you. Where's your receipt? I don't even know if they come with that. You probably only get 30 days. But here they're giving you a year, we're giving you 90 days just to make up your mind. And for 29 bucks, to be able to have something this beautiful, and again, you know, I'll be totally honest, this is probably season 2, maybe season 3. Season 1, you'll get flowers, like kids. You're gonna watch them grow. That's the fun part. Anybody can go buy a bush like that and spend $100 on it, but growing it yourself and watching them get bigger and bigger, it's like your kids. It's very, very satisfying. I'm getting such a kick, as I said, out of the tomatoes, because every day I look where a little flower was and I see a little tiny tomato, and I'm like, that's just amazing that, that nature is like that. Right, Rochelle? I mean, isn't it amazing that nature can produce, with a little bit of our help in our own homes, something like this?
Yeah, no, you know what's so interesting is literally yesterday I was reading an article in a magazine that was talking about this study that they did. They sent flowers, fruit baskets, and a candle to different people, and they measured their happiness. And here's what was so interesting. The flowers gave a 100% response. That's like crazy. They said the only thing else that gives a 100% response is when they did something with snakes and like people were terrified 100% of the time. So flowers 100% of the time make people happy and make them smile, make them feel better, make them just feel good about themselves and what they're doing and what they're growing. And so, you know, I just think personally, I know that to be true for myself, but growing flowers, seeing flowers, getting flowers, giving flowers are just, I mean, all of it is so satisfying. I mean, and this is such a great deal, to be honest. Even if you don't have a lot of space, you could get this. And maybe there's somebody in your life right now who's really like making life easier for you, and you want to say thank you. Get one for yourself and then give them one. These are such fantastic plants, whether you want to plant it in a container, keep it nice and small, small in the sense of container size, or put it out in your garden and let it grow to its full size, where it's going to get to be 4 feet, in both directions. Either way, this is just, rather than sending somebody flowers, give them the plant, because it's going to last a lot longer. They're going to get literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of flowers throughout the season. I mean, so the value here is just hard to beat when you're trying to send and do something really nice.
And Rochelle, I will tell you from experience, Mother's Day, I went to like the grocery store, sorry to say, to get Mom flowers for Mother's Day. Six roses and a little baby's breath was $25 for 6, and they're already cut, and they last a week. You could you could be pulling 6 flowers a week out of your roses and cutting those, and you had the pleasure of growing them yourself, right?
Yeah, and you're going to have that big, beautiful shrub covered in hundreds more flowers outside still. That's the thing. You get both. You get the big, beautiful floral display in your garden, and then you can also bring them in and have them in bouquets and have them in your house, or give them away, or whatever. This is really hard to beat. I'm a big fan, by the way, of picking flowers from my garden. I'm constantly out there, constantly bringing ones in, and I love my knockout roses because I can count on them to kind of anchor a bouquet, because they're always there. Some things, they kind of come and go, and my bouquets are very seasonal looking because I'm cutting them right out of the garden, but they always have roses because I have knockout roses, and they bloom from the end of June here in Boston, mid-June, right the way through to November. So, if you're farther south, they'll kick in a little sooner. These are about 30 to 60 days before you will be getting blooms on a shrub that would be probably about 24 inches by 24 inches in its first year. And again, that's because these are 2-year-old plants already that have been field harvested. They have not been container grown, so they will not shock as much as a potted plant will when you transplant it, and they will establish very quickly, and they will grow very quickly. There is a ton of life and kind of growing power packed in these roots. It is quite remarkable to see a bare root rose just take off when you put it in the ground. It's one of the most amazing gardening experiences, because you get this thing that looks kind of crazy, I'll have to admit, and then the next thing you know, you've got just canes and flowers coming out everywhere. Oh, and can I just tell you, I had the most interesting experience. I was weeding my garden. I moved one of my knockout roses last fall. And before I moved it, I was trimming it back, just like these. These come all trimmed back, and I was cutting it back. And I cleaned up my mess, but apparently I missed a piece that was literally like this long. And it laid in the dirt all winter. And can I tell you, it is rooting itself. That's how much life is in. And that's talking about a 2-inch piece of root that I cut last fall, and it sat there under the snow, and it's rooted down and off. It's growing. I mean, I couldn't believe it. So, you know, what is in this? This is easily like 20 times that, and it's just full of vigor, I promise you.
That's what's so nice about Leaf and Petal, and we love you guys. You know, this is our second year with you guys, is because you're getting great quality plants from the get-go, okay? So you're getting really, really healthy, in this case, rootstock, really healthy plants when you order. That's why they stand behind them with their warranty. That's why we're gonna give you 90 days. We have no doubt these are gonna grow where you are. And it's the perfect time to get them because, as we said, they take about a month or so before they will start to let their buds out, because they have to get settled wherever they are, wherever you're growing them. But again, that's the best part. It's the anticipation. I love that. And then all of a sudden they're growing, and then you enjoy that. It's like when your kids are little, same thing, right? And the first time that they learn to walk, right? You're like, oh my gosh, every day is sort of a different step in the life of roses, and you get to go right from the very beginning. By the way, did we sell out of the plant food, Kyle? I think we did. Last call. If you want the Leaf and Petal plant food, easiest plant food out there, take one of the little tablets, put it in a gallon of water, and pour it on your plants. You don't have to measure anything, none of that stuff. Last call on that. If you joined us late with only about a minute left, you're getting both. So you get a pink and you get a red. You're gonna get it in this incredibly 2-year-old rootstock, which is the healthiest rootstock available. Look at how much energy is in that. When you come in close and look at it, look at how thick. I mean, the stem of this has got to be 3.5 inches around the middle. You can see how thick that is. There you go. You can come in really close. And look at how thick and healthy, whoops, that way, sorry. But look at that, okay? And then look at the roots. They're ready to go. This is all, right here, this is all energy that's packed inside. Look at how thick those stalks are. And you can see it's already starting. We haven't even planted this. It's already starting to sprout. Little tiny little feeders out there that are gonna give you flowers. This is what you're gonna get ×2. With about 30 seconds left, I'm gonna give it back to Rochelle just for a minute to kind of wrap things up. But Rochelle, you get so much bang for your buck with this today's special.
You do, you do. I mean, the big thing about these is that you've skipped over some of the more time-intensive and least satisfying parts of growing any plant, because we've done that for you. These are 2-year-old plants. And then on top of that, these are knockout roses. Knockout roses they revolutionized the rose industry with their easy care, easy maintenance, but more than that, just their non-stop flowers. Hundreds of flowers from the time they start blooming right till the first frost and cold in your area.
It's gonna be beautiful.
Value, just value.
All right, well, Rochelle, appreciate you. Now, you stick around because we got lots of flowers coming up in our second hour. And our favorites, we have the hummingbird bushes, we got daisies, we got daylilies, all coming up next. We'll see you in a bit.
Okay.
All right, thanks, Rochelle. Hey, coming up in this hour, all right, you ready for this? We got disc lights back. These are the hottest seller